Hey YouTubers, and thank you for tuning in to the Dice Flap toy review. I've only got about just one flip-flop item though, but I also want to have a bit of a chat about those Club Penguin themed books that a friend called James has actually, how would you say it, gave these books away to me though. I certainly love those books, and I might have a chat about these books again though, because I'm going to be basically comparing another book that I've actually got at home though, which looks very similar that I've got at home at the moment, but I'm no longer a fan of that one franchise, even though I'm actually stating that I will go back into one particular franchise that I used to love the most, and that is Pokemon. But anyways, let me just go ahead and grab the webcam. And actually, yes, there hasn't been that much Easter stuff yet, but what's quite funny is that although Easter 2022 hasn't been that very busy, I've actually got another Easter, I'll just say item there that I've got the menu there, of course. Funnily enough, we've got another, is that like a penguin cardboard themed, how would you say it, Easter card. Welcome to Easter Island, because you know why? Of course there's an Easter bunny penguin, of course that's basically a penguin dressed up as an Easter bunny, basically going on an Easter egg hunt on the shores of Easter Island, because you know why? We've also got those, oh look at that, are these Moai statue heads? And is that a palm tree? Isn't that pretty unrealistic to have palm trees at Easter Island? Well, who knows? That might be totally, how would you say it, completely debatable, I'm sure. But looking at what we have here, we got the Love From and the Love Writings, of course. And then we've just got a very basic but bland looking Happy Easter, how would you say it, message though. I mean, it's always saying the word, actually the two words Happy Easter, it's always the same. And then some pencil lines though, because I was doing it as part of a template, and same thing at the back. And of course, yes, this is basically quite a nice looking Easter logo for 2022. I didn't do any products today because I was struggling to create a product of something technological, but also at the same time has to be in a coastal type environment. So that's why I didn't make any more products there, apart from this product here, which pretty much depicts with a penguin dressed up as a bunny rabbit though, or an Easter bunny, hunting Easter eggs in the shores of Easter Island. And there you go, obviously the Easter 2022 logo looks quite nice, and so is the Easter themed logo, which I would classify as the Easter 2022 card logo, as I would call it. There you go, that was actually quite a very simplistic looking card, and yes, it's pretty much still there. Not gonna lie though, it's actually quite a nice looking detailed card. But let me just go ahead and show you the books that I've actually reviewed in a previous video. And let me just show it to you though. I think there's actually something quite similar with these books. Do you remember these two? I'm actually going to be doing a comparison with another book that I've got though. And I used to actually have this, in a sense that it's this book here. You know, the Pokémon Deluxe Essential Handbook? I know it's actually quite big, but it actually tells you all of the different species of Pokemon. Well, this was actually just before to Generation 7, and also other additional Gen 6 Pokemon as well. I can't really remember, the names though, because sadly, I know this book is pretty much copyrighted at least around 2015, as you can see, with the licensing info. That's very important to see. Stating that this product is very legitimate, of course. So it's a bit old, about 5 years old though. I feel like maybe with this book though, maybe I should probably, if I was going to give this book away, I would have probably crossed out the name though, this name tag that I've just formulated, and then probably gave it into somewhere else. And it's quite funny that, what's even quite strange about this book is that it's printed in the UK. That's very nice, isn't it though? And I know these two books are printed in Slovakia though, so that's a very nice looking touch to what we have. But let me just go ahead and show you to what I'm actually going to be doing at the moment is I'm actually going to be comparing these two books versus that book there. Okay, so I'm going to actually have a bit of a chat though. And what I'm actually going to be talking about is specifically enough, not just the pages of the books inside, but what I'm actually going to be talking about is pretty much, well, the similarities and the differences between these two totally different franchise books. And yes, as I'm saying it, is they're basically two totally different franchises from two totally different entities. One, in fact, or should I say, two of these books are from Disney. That one there's from Nintendo, of course. Of course, they're from different brands, as you can see. But yes, it's published by Ladybird Books. These two, of course, which look quite nice. Good scenery, of course, with the penguins on their backsides doing either jetpacking or riding on a speedboat, with another one riding on a jetpack. And on this one here, yes, it looks quite amazing. I mean, this book costs about £8.99 or £9. That there costs about £7. That one there costs about £6. Or should I say £5.99 or £6.99. Both of these are printed in Slovakia, which in a sense is a very nice country though. In fact, with books not printed in China, that's a very good thumbs up. In fact, that's a double thumbs up. You know, just to have books which are not made in China, but made in Europe or the UK. That's a brilliant sign to hear. Okay, so what I'm actually going to be doing at the moment now is I'm going to be comparing those two books versus this one here. And what we're actually going to be talking about is the dimensions and also the difference in terms of how these books have been designed and the overall appearance as well though. So I'm going to be pretty much stacking these books like so. What's quite funny about these books is that they're pretty much in the shape of an is that like an A5 like paper design? Almost looks like an A5 paper design, but I would definitely say it's a little bit larger and a bit longer. But what's also quite peculiar is that those books are pretty much almost kind of like, if I put it right at the bottom there, they almost look like, well actually, if I have a look at these books, of course, if I, you know, stack those two together, what's even more perplexing about these books is, and what also sort of surprises to me though, is that both of these Club Penguin books are about the same width and the same length of this Pokemon book, and that is actually quite a very strange looking coincidence. And another coincidence is that apart from the fact these two books are pretty much, you know, video game based as you would call it, they're basically about the same width, so that's quite strange, isn't it though? I would have never thought. We'll just put the one back again now, but maybe this might be the more contrary side, because once we put these books side to side or stacked up together, there actually is a bit of a very weird indifference between those three different books. Although with that being said, I would just say it, the expanded version is a little bit more wider and a bit more larger than the Volume 1 book though, because, you know, there's more pages on that book in the middle. But the Pokemon book seems to be a bit much more bigger, because, you know, it's got all the Pokemon species in it though, so that explains why the Pokemon book seems to be a lot more larger than the Club Penguin books, both the expanded version and the Volume 1 edition type Club Penguin book. So that's quite a very weird looking difference, of course. The other difference is the UK pricing as well, with Pokemon being the most expensive, Club Penguin being a lot more cheaper. Obviously, I think it's good value to get Club Penguin books. In the way that these books have been read before, I've got a funny feeling that the Pokemon one to me has actually had a lot of love though, because maybe for the fact that I was a big Pokemon fan at that time and I just kept on reading it, and I was totally hyper fixated by this one mega franchise, which is of course Pokemon. And of course, yes, there's others like, you know, Club Penguin. I mean, how could you never go wrong with these types of franchises that pretty much, you know, get Gen Z kids who are now adults and teenagers watching this enticed by it. So yes, that is quite amazing. Another nice peep and another delve into, you know, these Club Penguin themed books, and also the Pokemon book as well. That was a very nice guest visit, of course. And I would never thought that these two books are pretty much almost like the same design and the same width. But maybe the Pokemon book is a little slightly wider than the Club Penguin books, although you could pretty much argue in the point that they're not though. Maybe if I put this one here, I got a funny feeling that the Pokemon book is slightly taller versus maybe if I stack these books together though, maybe we'll start to get a bit of a good depth of what we've got though, and hopefully all stacked up together without anything nonsensical. So yes, what we've actually realised is that these books are pretty much designed in the same fashion, but what I've also realised is that the Pokemon book is slightly taller than both of these books though. Yes, it's actually quite amazing though. Even though they look about the same width though, I can actually still see there's, in a bit of a close-up, there's actually a bit of extra artwork being shown here on the Pokemon book. I'm not sure if you can see that, but yes, that's actually coming from the Pokemon book and not the Club Penguin book. So there's a bit of additional artwork coming out here, which would actually explain why that the Pokemon book is slightly a bit bigger and a little bit more, I'll definitely say a millimeter a bit taller than the Club Penguin themed book. With that being said, however, it could probably cause a bit of a debate on anyone else. Maybe if I show you the other side of this book, then maybe you get a much more better vision of what you're looking at. I'm just putting those books in a much more prominent and stacked up position, because you know why. Also, there's something quite strange though. Yes, the Pokemon book, as always, as per usual, has had a lot of love, but the other thing about this book is that, yes, I don't know about you, but both the Club Penguin and the Pokemon book seems to look like there's, you know, there's a bit of indifference going on here. And I'd definitely say that the Pokemon book is, of course, slightly taller than the other ones. But what's also quite strange is that even though that the expanded edition of Club Penguin is a lot much more wider, it's a little bit wider than the other book that I've got there. It's also, let me just show you though, just a slight tad taller than the other one, of course. You know, the expanded edition of this Club Penguin book though versus the Volume 1 book. And if I snug in the Pokemon themed book, you can actually see that there's actually a bit of a difference. It's actually got slightly more pages than the other one, so that's actually quite strange in the way that I'm actually having a look at those three similar sized books. And that's a bit of a coincidence, but maybe you might probably make this one up as some sort of debate. And I bet you what, it's not just a made up debate, it could be an official debate on how big or small or how exactly similar these books are, because I definitely say it's all about design and not all about just the width and also the length and also the amount of pages that this book has got. But what's also quite funny is about these three books though, is that, well, whenever I look at these three books, I coincidentally think that they're pretty much the same, I would just say it, the same size, actually the same sort of width and length, which actually reminds me of A5 paper, but mind you, I might be totally wrong, because maybe this is not A5 paper size-esque. But yes, that's actually going to be about it in this video though. So, that was quite nice of me having a look at these two Club Penguin books versus the Pokemon book that we've got there. That's like a Deluxe Essential Handbook. I know there's a new one that's already been released though so far. I know there's one with just the 11 Pokemon as well, while having the other regions in it as well being implemented, of course. I've got to keep all of the Pokemon, or else there'll be a lot of Pokemon fans thinking, oh, but Ivan, just stop, you know, disallowing other Pokemon regions and whatnot though. Well, that's what I'm trying to do. I'm trying to be very considerate to all Pokemon fans, and Club Penguin fans of that matter, of course. But anyways, I think that's about it in this very strange video. Not sure if this video is going to be one of those rough and ready videos on YouTube, but let's just hope not. So, this video has actually been quite different though, because you know why? We only had just a bit of a very weird peruse of only just taking a look at just one flip-flop product, which was the Easter themed card, which looks like that. Okay, right over there. But anyways, hope you really enjoyed in this very interesting comparison video about the Club Penguin and the Pokemon themed books, of course. Please give this video a like, subscribe for more flip-flop videos in the future, and as always, thank you so much for watching, and hopefully I should be making more flip-flop tours than usual, I hope. Bye for now.